Imagine the Camp Nou lights flickering back on. 90,000 culés holding their breath as a Premier League talisman, Marcus Rashford, steps into the Blaugrana spotlight. Just 7 months ago, he was exiled at Manchester United, fined for lack of effort and earning £325,000 a week to train at 5 p.m. with the other outcasts. Tonight, he's Barca's boldest gamble since Ronaldinho, and the world wants to know: genius masterstroke or £14 million a season mistake? Rashford's route is anything but linear. Loaned to Aston Villa in February, he rediscovered sparks, 2 goals and 4 assists in 14 outings. Yet his United tally remains 147 goals from 457 games, none added since Amorim benched him last December. England still believe, 17 strikes in 62 caps. United, eager to shed a £325,000 a week wage and fund a rebuild, will happily let him go. Barca, reeling after Nico Williams, committed to Bilbao until 2035, needed a left-side dynamo. Enter a one-season loan with a reported £30 million option, championed by Deco and new coach Hansi Flick. The bet? Rashford's direct running opens lanes for Lamine Yamal while restoring his own star. Amid FFP tightrope and fan impatience. Risk or revival? Let's find out. At Manchester United, Marcus Rashford's decline began on a night that should have been a springboard. On December 1st, United crushed Everton 4-0 and Rashford struck twice, yet 48 hours earlier he had reportedly visited a Manchester bar. Manager Ruben Amorim, who bans nightlife close to games, confronted him. Rashford denied wrongdoing, but the seed of doubt was planted. 3 days later, he was dropped for the trip to Arsenal, and rotation quickly turned to Exile. Discipline soon decided selection. Rashford's only subsequent start came at Victoria Pilsen on December 12th, and even then he lasted 56 minutes. Over the next 11 league fixtures, he totaled 88 substitute minutes. When United trailed Newcastle 2-0 on December 30th, Amorim still refused to deploy him, later stressing that every player had to want it really, really bad. Rashford was also absent through bouts of illness that Amorim hinted required greater commitment. The hierarchy backed the coach. Sporting Director Jason Wilcox, Chief Executive Omar Barada and Ineos Sporting Director Sir Dave Brailsford agreed that standards had to rise, especially for a £325,000 a week academy graduate whose last goal came in early October. Previous managers had wrestled with Rashford's form and preferred position, yet all acknowledged his raw talent. Amorim, however, believed accountability mattered more than potential. United's financial context added urgency.
If you do the maximum, if you do the right things, we can use every player. And you can see it today on the bench. We miss a little bit pace to go.
Selling or loaning a homegrown player generates pure profit under Premier League accounting rules, and removing a huge salary would fund squad upgrades. By January, Rashford's representatives were scouring Europe. Milan, Dortmund and Barcelona held talks, but only Aston Villa matched an immediate loan proposal and promised a starring role. With 138 goals in 426 appearances, Rashford remains United's most prolific active scorer, yet he had played only 118 competitive minutes since early December. As Amorim prioritised discipline and the board prioritised balance sheets, Rashford accepted that a fresh start was necessary. The boyhood hero who once carried Old Trafford's hopes now prepares to depart. His United chapter closing under clouds of doubt and unrealised promise. From academy kid to policy changer, Marcus Rashford used his platform at 22 to push the UK into extending free school meals for vulnerable children in 2020. Few athletes shape a nation while still in their prime, yet clubs still believe his talent can be reignited with guidance and minutes in the right system. Barcelona's search for a new left-sided threat collapsed the moment a club envoy urged Nico Williams to sack his trusted agent, Felix Tenta, and sign with a super agent. Instead, either Jorge Mendes, the man who steered Cristiano Ronaldo's career and once handled Deco, or Pini Zahavi, the power broker who delivered more players to Roman Abramovich's early-era Chelsea than most clubs fit in a stadium. Feeling disrespected, Williams inked a deal with Athletic Bilbao until 2035, and Joan Laporta's public optimism proved empty. With pre-season looming and financial fair play margins tight, Deco reopened a channel first explored in January: Marcus Rashford. The English forward had already made it clear he wanted Champions League football and admired Lamine Yamal. When Rashford was frozen out at Manchester United after December's disciplinary row, intermediaries offered a low-risk formula: a one-year loan, Barcelona covering wages, and a modest future fee. CEO Ferran Oliveira ran the numbers. Rashford accepted a 15% pay cut, reducing his salary from about 17 million euros to 14 million, and United agreed because the savings cleared 17 million pounds from their own books. Barca secured approval from La Liga after inserting a 30 million euro purchase option, a figure that fits next summer's budget if Ousmane Dembele's sell-on clause is triggered. Hansi Flick phoned Rashford to outline expectations: punctuality, pressing from the left channel, and mentorship for rising talents like Yamal. Flick's history of benching latecomers convinced the 27-year-old to arrive in Catalonia 2 days early. The private jet landed at El Prat at 1942 hours on Sunday. Medical tests followed at the Ciutat Esportiva, and a signing was held in Laporta's office before midnight to register the deal ahead of Monday's UEFA deadline. United keep a pathway to a permanent sale, Barcelona get an experienced international without a large upfront fee, and Rashford gets the restart he craved after only 118 minutes under Amorim since December. All sides label it a calculated win. Marcus Rashford offers Barcelona 3 clear assets: proven left-wing penetration, depth at centre-forward, and Champions League experience in his prime. Hansi Flick's 4-2-3-1 relies on pressing and fast transitions. Rashford, clocked at 35.7 km/h last season, fits that tempo and raises intensity on the left. The most talented player at the moment, Lamine Yamal, opposite. When Robert Lewandowski rests, Rashford can shift inside. He averaged 0.46 non-penalty goals per 90 in his last full term as a 9, better than any Barca player except Lewandowski. Flick tested Rafinha as an interior creator. Pairing him behind Rashford adds vertical threat, opening pockets for Pedri and Gavi. His movement meshes with Alejandro Balde. At United, he produced 1.1 cutback chances per 90, while Balde ranked top 3 among Liga full-backs for overlaps, creating overloads. Set pieces improved too. Rashford logged 17 direct free-kick shots on target across 3 seasons, topping Barca's current roster. His work off the ball matches Flick's strict standards. Off-field, he becomes the first Englishman at Camp Nou since Gary Lineker in 1989, boosting merchandise and global reach. The loan is low risk. Rashford accepted a 15% pay cut. Barca cover 14 million euros net with a 30 million option to buy. 62 England caps bring leadership for Yamal, Fermin, while his charity image strengthens Barca's brand. Pace, versatility, and marketability ensure he helps defend the Liga crown and chase a deeper Champions League run. If form returns, that option looks like one of the bargains of the 2025 market. Barcelona have rolled the dice on a forward whose story reads like a Hollywood arc. Boyhood hero at Old Trafford, brilliant yet inconsistent, now seeking redemption in the colours of La Liga's champions. Marcus Rashford arrives with 138 United goals, 17 for England, and enough pace to frighten any back line. The loan cost Barca a single season of wages and a 30 million euro option. For a club fighting financial fair play margins, that is a measured outlay for potentially elite production. Yet the wager is not only financial. Hansi Flick has set non-negotiable standards on effort and punctuality. Rashford's Old Trafford exile proved harsh lessons can spark change. If he meets Flick's demands, he adds direct running on the left, backup for Robert Lewandowski, and an experienced finisher when Champions League knockout nights arrive. Fail and his minutes will evaporate as quickly as they did under Ruben Amorim. Fans should watch 3 metrics. First, shot quality. Rashford averaged 0.15 expected goals per attempt as a left wing in his best season. Replicate that and goals will flow. Second, pressing actions in the final third. Under Flick, forwards must lead the hunt. Third, availability. Even a slight dip into off-field distractions will cost him starts. For Barcelona, the upside mirrors Gary Lineker's impact a generation ago. For Rashford, success revives a career that once promised Ballon d'Or chatter. So, as he steps into the Camp Nou turf for the first time, one question lingers. Is this the turning point that unlocks his prime? That always was a joy to watch? Or the last big swing before the lights dim?